There. Well, hi there, and I've been wanting to do a video of the equipment I use to on capturing these videos that I do. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and right now I'm on doctor's orders where I've got to take it easy for till Monday, anyways. I've hurt my rib cage pretty dang good, actually. But we're going to start with the boat here this morning, and what we got here, we got the tracker here. It's a 1754 model number, Grizzly all weld. I've got a Mercury 60 horse on there, and it does have a jack plate. The jack plate, I probably don't use that because I fish in the river a whole lot, but the time to get it put on is when you first get the boat. You don't want to be doing it later on down the road. This boat, I've got a push stick right here to help me get out of troubled spots. I put a ruler here, and these aluminum boats, they get super hot, super freaking hot. So you need to put padding down on these, and you need to put rod holders. It just makes all the difference in the world and convenience. Like Delilah, when I catch a fish, she can set her rod down right there, grab the net and get over there and not have to worry about her pole, stepping on it or anything like that. Trolling motor. Yeah, I have had a lot of boats, and this is the first boat I ever had that I got a trolling motor. And the reason why I got a trolling motor is because I changed the way I used to fish. I was a treble hook, popping cork type of guy. I throw the cast net, get the menhaden shad, and that's what I fished with. And I also use shrimp, but I really prefer menhaden because they seem to do the job on that. I did have to add a spare tire, and the reason why I added a spare tire is because I got home one day, came out, and after about 30 minutes of just cleaning up and coming back out to the boat, and the tire's flat. So I was lucky I made it home before it went flat. And it was a hook that was in there, so I probably picked that up off the boat ramp on that. Now, this is a Minn Kota Terrova, a Terrova. I'm probably screwing that up. And this has the ability to, you set your target and it'll hold that target. And that's important because I can sit here and concentrate on fishing and not have to worry about constantly controlling the motor to turn it to where I need to go. That's exactly what you want to do. It's very important. I've actually got, this is the 80-pound thrust model. I've got two 12-volt batteries, so it's a 24-volt system. I probably fish at least 4 hours, and the thing lasts all 4 hours. I did keep my batteries right here inside this compartment. I also have a battery charger that can handle 2 batteries, and so I just take my power cord, I'll plug it up in there, and my batteries are usually charged the next morning after a fishing trip. This seat, it didn't come with this seat, So I went ahead and got this seat. I was sitting on a cooler, but if you can bring 3 people, I like using the cooler down here on the bottom, and the 3rd person would have a place to sit. If you wonder about all these things sticking up here, these are real Blazer mounts, and I had them on my kayak. And this boat here has a, let me see if I can show you here. You see this track right here? It's got a track on both sides, and these come in and they hold my cameras very well. I'll be putting the cameras on them. And you know, here's another Rail Blazer device I've got on here to help maintain the rope that I use to tie up. Another Rail Blazer rod holder. This boat comes with a rod holder over there, and it's, if you're a right-handed fisher, the reel will probably be on the wrong side, so it's going to be somewhat irritating, but at the same time, at least it's a rod holder. You got a place to put your extra rods. It did come with the back seat there. Pretty nice. You can take that back seat and put it right here, or you can drop it low there, right? And a person can sit back there and have his feet in between you guys. But we leave it on all the time right now, so kind of rather fortunate. This thing does have an aerator, or I can put water in there, and it'll keep it circulating, keep the fish alive. That's another thing that was kind of weird that I need to point out to you guys right here is I got this trailer tug, and the reason why I have this trailer tug is because when I come up here to hook up to the back of my truck to this trailer here, my tires sit about right here, and it has that, and you got elevation up on the slope of the driveway there. What happens there is I can't lower the front end of the boat low enough to actually get it to get snug around this ball here. And so what I have to do is I push the boat to the back ends in the garage, and that allows my truck to get up out of that hole there and get up here on the flatter surface. My wheels probably fit about right here, and I'll hook it up. Now, the reason why I'm saying to use this trailer tug is, now I looked at ones at Harbor Freight and other cheaper models, but they didn't have a brake, and they weren't too sturdy. Where this one, you've got your foot brake right here, on, off. You can control it with your foot. See, when you push this boat back up in there and you're by yourself, it's going to roll right back out in the street. So you need that brake system so you can put that brake on and then put the tire chucks in place to hold that boat from traveling down there. So that made all the difference in the world between me doing this by myself, and you know, my wife had cancer, and during her treatments, it made her very weak. So she couldn't come out here and help me. But it's worked out pretty well for me. With this 60 horse, I only use 1 gallon of gas that's it. When I go out and fish where I do, the boat ramps like 24 miles. I get about carrying a boat probably 18 miles to the gallon, so I use a little bit more than maybe 2.5 gallons in the truck to take the boat out there. Which when I pull up to the gas station after a fishing trip, I'm putting like less than a gallon, like 0.8 of a gallon in the truck. One thing I haven't changed is I still have an aluminum prop down here. Where I fish in the river, I just really hadn't had a need for one. I've been thinking about putting one on there, but man, when it comes time to pull the money out, I'm like, do you really need it? And so at this particular point, I really don't. I really don't. But it's on my mind. Maybe one day extra funds will come in and I'll be good to go for one. And if you see the ghost hanging in the trees, it's almost Halloween here. I guess we're at October 17th and October 31st is Halloween. Right here, this is the e-bike I use to go out and check my trail cameras. It came with these two saddlebags, and they just slide on real easy here. I mean, it's so easy. It's really convenient, and they're very waterproof. The last video I did where I was out there moving the trail cameras, it rained. I mean, it poured, and I had my cameras on, and I just took them off, put them inside there. No issues, none at all. This is the X-Peak 2.0 version. It has the extra long range battery. They say it can get up to 80 miles, but that's you're pedaling and doing all convenient stuff, and you're not toting all the extra gear around. This is the bike rack right here. It works, but I've seen better. I actually have to strap the bike down to keep it secure, because what holds it down that came with it actually will vibrate and the bike will come loose. And I've been a couple. All right, this is my truck. I keep the bike rack up front because of the hassle factor. I want to have my truck ready to go. I don't want to have to think about putting it on a rack and then putting it on the bike. I want to be able to just grab my bike and put it on there and go. I got this deck system. I keep my stuff in here. Actually, the only thing I need to take out when I go fishing is I take my rods in the ice chest and I throw them in the boat. That's it. Everything else is already either on the boat or in the truck, ready to go. I got that up there mounted, an extra additional box. It'll hold my air compressor that I didn't have before. And the last time I was out, I ended up getting a flat in the front tire, and then I took off the spare, and the spare had very little air in it. So luckily a guy had an air compressor over there, and we were able to air the tire, and I was able to get back home again. And I do have AAA, but usually when you call them and you're in the middle of nowhere, they just don't have anybody to send out to you. That's when you need it the most, right? So I do carry these. I actually have a winch inside that box to pull my vehicle out. I've got the tire tracks in case I get stuck. That over there is a water container. In case I need to wash my hands or something like that. It's got a little foot pump on it. And just basically, really, just the heat from sitting in the back of the truck. You just pull the squirter on the hose, and it comes on. Here's another thing I want to point out. I've learned through other boats is that I've had that these cables will crack if you leave them sitting out in the sun. So I try to keep them covered up. You can get this kind of stuff online and on Amazon or probably many other places here too. Also, you want to these big old wire that comes through your motor. You want to go ahead and cover those up. You can get this type stuff and just tie wrap it on. Make sure. And I know this because my other boats, and I noticed that new boats come out with this stuff on there, and this one didn't because of the fact that it's not that kind of a boat. So I guess the biggest thing that you really need to do here when you get one of these boats is put the covering on the floor, the deck covering, so you can put this over here. I gotta get my camera guy all situated here. All right. I hope I can see the cameras there. All right. All right. A camera bag. You say, well, I don't really need one of those. Well, you kind of do, because there's a lot of expensive gear, and you get caught out here in the rain, you don't want it to get wet. So this backpack is, they say, is waterproof and everything like that, and it has a raincoat. If you, well, I guess on my last video I actually used it, and it's on the video on how to do that, but it just pulls right out, pulls over the top, and gives it the extra protection you need. Now, my camera gear, my action cameras, they all fit up on top, and I got my big DSLR camera, and it sits up high, so there's no electronics down the bottom. And I want to point that out because I have gotten water in here where it damaged. Luckily, it just got to my batteries from my cameras of the GoPro, and I did ruin some batteries, but outside of that, it was manageable. It could have been a lot worse. So that's why I went to this type of backpack here. I got my mics in here, and you know what? You're out there fishing and the wind's blowing. There's nothing worse than having to deal with a windy video on a YouTube, and you might lose some viewers on that. These are the Railblazer snap-ins to the top. Let's see, I'll take my, this is my Action 5 camera, and I'll put it on there like that. It just snaps right in, just snaps right in. I keep it right here on this right here. I'm not gonna snap it in, but they snap in. They're very secure. This here, I used to put another camera down, but I haven't been using it lately. I keep the. I don't think you can see that. I'll have to move the camera for that. But also, I on these bags that have helped protect my cameras, I took a picture of the camera and put it on the bag, so I know what camera's in that bag without having to open. This is, I put my GoPro 12 right here. It's kind of like my C camera. The GoPro, I mean the DJI 5 Pro runs continuously, and I move it around with my hand. This one here, this one will pick up, I got the fish in the boat off the hook, I want a picture, or if the fish comes on this side over here, I can just turn it and use it as a B camera. The GoPro 4 is the, not GoPro 4, DJI 4 is the It's another full-time camera that records. So I got two cameras recording full-time. This one mounts on my neck, and about in this area right here with a neck mount. And the reason why I went to I used the head mount for years. That head mount, it gives you a headache. You tilt your head, you look up at something coming over, your camera can fall off. Actually, I had to secure the mount because the hat has a neck to hold that from falling off onto the ground. And so I had to take that head mount and tie it off onto the hat. So when I tilt my head up, the camera falls off because it slides off the hat, then at that time, the string around my neck will keep it from falling into the water or wherever it may fall off onto. I got my DSLR camera. I keep my batteries in here. I got the cool thing about DJI, you push the button right there, and it tells you all 3 batteries are good to go. This wasn't made by GoPro because GoPro doesn't have anything like this to carry the batteries with you. But I keep my GoPro batteries in there. It carries 3. This carries 3, and this is another 3 carrier of the DJI. And let me move these out of the way. I'll put a hole. Now my 360 camera, I put right here. Yeah, I put it so it captures the entire area around the boat. It can cover me and the person fishing back at the same time. I love it. I just wish it wouldn't overheat as much as it does. But it does. It's like having your own cameraman on the boat because it just captures everything. And we'll come back over here. We'll go back on that backpack here. All right. This is the DSL camera, and you can see it sits up like this, so it's up off the ground quite a bit high. This is the neck mount I use for my GoPro 4, not GoPro 4, DJI 4, and I actually use this to extend the battery life on the DJI. This is a little Patriot power pack. I use that cord, and you can see it on the video. It shows up on that. But this backpack here is framed so it sits pretty level. It's got these little camera mounts, and they tilt back and forth, and they'll go up much higher than that. I think they go up at least to my eyeballs. This one over here is for the phone. There's sometimes when I just want to get a picture on my phone, like me holding a fish or something in the boat, because inside the action cameras it takes a little time to get off. Where I just use my cell phone, I can snap the picture. It be held right here, real nice. And so this backpack, I guess, has been pretty good to me. I really liked it. And I'm sure there's others out there that serve a purpose, but keep my DSL camera sits up this level. My action cameras and my 360 cameras sit up in here. My extra mic and everything is in here. My batteries are up here. We've got this compartment right here. I just keep sun protection gear in here, and this is what's in this little bag right here. That's a headband, and these are arm sleeves. And I made them camouflage because sometimes you need that extra camouflage cover to capture those pictures that you need. So, and I do sell these in my shop online at aurorariver.com. I keep pins in there for maybe you need to do a license thing or something like that. And this one down here, I got my hat. This is my old mount right here. And there's associated a bunch of different types of straps. So you can take these individually and wear them on your body in other ways. I don't really mess with it, but I keep the straps down there. But so there's really nothing in here that down low that if it got wet would be damaged. But that pretty much shows all the gear that I have here. The Railblazer are for my camera mounts. I use just 3 of those right now. I did have the GoPro minis that were, I had them more around the boat, but they overheated so much they were totally unreliable, and it just wasn't worth the hassle with them anymore. But if you're thinking about, you know, doing outdoor videos and you're down south and it's kind of warm, I would say the DJI 4 and DJI 5 Pro have never failed me. But these are the action cameras. These are the Railblazer that attaches to the bottom of them. If you're interested in these little bags to help keep your cameras protected as you got them in your bag there, I do sell those, and they're surprisingly cheap considering the what they save. Your cameras, you know, it's only $650, I think, maybe $750. But I wanted to point out these little devices. They're on the extraction cords, and I've got a pair of pliers and a fish grabber on there, and real handy. They were on my kayak. I've moved it over here. They've been on here for over 2 years. We're going into 3 years now. We are into the 3rd year now. That's another thing I recommend. And if you use braid, this thing has been pretty handy. I keep my leader line right here available and out of the way. And I never have to worry about it looping and getting all over the place. Really good device. But I hope this video gives you some ideas on what you can maybe do with your setup to customize it. And we all, as we do our part, we learn and improve, and it's all, you know, some people look at it as the fun. It's kind of like a Jeep, you know. Part of the fun with the Jeep is getting it the way you want, putting the big tires on, getting it ready for overlanding, putting the extra suspension on there. You know, one of the things that I really wanted to do with my Jeep when I had it is put an extra gas tank in there. I saw a guy that actually did that, and it doubles your capacity, which gives you a lot of comfort when you're out there in the middle of nowhere, is that you've got enough gas to get where you need to go and get back again. Yeah. Put these Railblazers up here. And my GoPro 12. This GoPro, I got 2 GoPros 11, and I just recently quit using them. One of the reasons is that it overheated, the battery swelled up, and when the battery swells up, the only way to get it out, you take the door off and you got to beat it so that battery will jolt out of there. Well, during that process, the back LCD stopped working, And it's just, they've been so much trouble that I'm just gonna give up on them. The DJI 5 Pro and the DJI 4, I get an hour. The DJI 5 Pro and the DJI 4, I get an hour on the 4 on one battery, and on the 5, I get about an hour and a half on one battery, and I don't have any overheating problems. So I can definitely say, if you need a reliable action camera that you're going to be using outdoors, I would go with that. On that. And I hope you guys have a good day, and we're going to be signing off, and we'll see you on the next video.